Thanks for stopping by and checking out this video. We're changing the oil on a 2014 Chevy Traverse. I'm just going to go ahead and show you the items that I'm going to use to do this. We've got a oil drain pan, we've got oil filter, ramps, a 15mm wrench, and a blanket. You're going to need 6 quarts of the 5W30 with Dexos certification, and then this particular oil filter I'm using is a Fram PH10575. Alright, we've got the Traverse in the garage and we're ready to get started on this oil change. So the first thing I want to show you is the oil fill cap. Shows you that you need Dexos, and you also want to make sure your oil is compatible with the Dexos. So you need oil filter, you need 6 quarts of oil. I actually bought 10 quarts, so I'll be taking the 6th quart from another jug. So we'll go ahead and get started on this. This is the 3.6 liter V6. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and take this cap off. That will allow the oil to flow freely from the oil pan when we take the drain plug out. Alright, here we are under the vehicle, and you can see right here is the drain plug. It's a 15mm right there. I'm going to go ahead and remove the drain plug and get the oil flowing out here. Alright, we're going to let this drain, and when it's done we'll put the drain plug back in and get the oil filter off. Alright, so we've let the oil drain for quite a while. It's still got a small little bitty stream going here, but I'm going to go ahead and put the drain plug back in. Alright, so while we're down here we're going to look for the oil filter, and unfortunately it is right there. I don't know if you can see it, like right there. It's not accessible from the bottom, so we'll be getting this from the top, but we still need to leave this drain pan here and slide it up because it's going to leak a little bit when we pull the oil filter out. Alright, so here we are on top of the motor, and you can see the orange oil filter right there. That's what I'm going to be taking out. It's kind of a small spot to get your hands in there, but it's doable. Alright, we got it loose. I can hear it hitting the drain pan, the oil. There's just not a good way to get this from the bottom. And then when you pull this off, you'll want to tilt it up. And bring it up just like this. You can probably see where it was, and you know, the oil just dripping there. So I'm going to try and clean that up a little bit with some rags, and then I'll go down to the bottom and clean that up. But we'll do that after we get the new oil filter in place. Just trying to remove any oil that will burn off and smoke. Alright, it's time to prepare the new oil filter for installation. And I know a lot of people will tell you to fill up the oil filter with new oil. Unfortunately, this goes in on the side of the motor just like this, so for me that's not feasible without making a huge mess. You know, if you're working on a small block Chevy or something where it just goes up and twists on, that's great. All we're going to do is put some new oil on this rubber seal. That way it'll keep it from seizing to the engine and being a pain to come off the next time. Most likely I'll be the one changing the oil on this again. So I'm just going to stick my finger in the oil. And you don't need much. And then just put that on the seal. Wipe the excess off of your finger. And then now it's time to put the oil filter on. Again, this is in such a tight spot, it's really hard to show it, but I'll show you once the oil filter is in place. And again, it's going to have to go straight down. And you kind of have to do it by feel. Okay, I got it on there. We're just spinning it on right now. And if this is your first time changing oil, you just want to make sure you do not over tighten oil filter. That way, if you do, it'll be extremely hard to get off for the next person. Alright, so we're in place. We'll wipe off some oil that got on it, and then I'll show you what it looks like installed. Again, there's really not a whole lot to see, but you can see it's in place, good to go. Now we can start putting oil in. Remove the cap. Get a funnel if you don't want to make a mess. And then start pouring. It's 6 quarts, this is 5 quarts, so I'm going to go ahead and pour all this in there. There's 5 quarts down. So on the side here, this says 4 quarts, so we know there's 5 in here, so when we get to 4, we're going to be good to go. So holding that level, we're right at 4 quarts. Alright, so the next thing to do is start the car. We'll get it down off the ramps. We'll go ahead and check the oil level after it's ran for a couple minutes, and then we'll reset the oil change reminder on the computer. Alright, so we've changed the oil. We got the car down off the ramps, let it run for a few minutes. We're going to go ahead and check the oil level, make sure we're good. I don't know if you can see there, but we are right here. We're in good shape. So now we're going to get in the car and reset the oil change reminder. Alright, now to reset the oil life, we are going to be using this button here, the car with the eye icon, and I want you to pay attention up here. You'll see things changing. So we're going to push this until it gets to 0% oil life remaining, and then to reset it, we're going to hold down the check mark, and I'm going to hold the camera out here so you can see both what I'm doing here, and you'll see it change up there. So I'm just going to hold this button down, and after a few seconds it should go to 100%. There you go. So that is the oil reset. That is the oil life reset on Chevy Traverse, this 2009 to 2017, I believe. So that's the end of this video. If it was helpful, give me a thumbs up. If you have any questions, put them in the comments below. And I appreciate you watching the video. Thank you.